Ellen gets insulted on her own show. Thanks to her famous afternoon chat show, Ellen DeGeneres is now the Madonna of daytime TV and the Mother Teresa of giving away free stuff to the audience. But that coveted status doesn't shield her from getting the occasional jab from a guest. It's usually all in good fun, but in fact, there have been several big-name celebs who came for her in the form of an awkwardly pointed remark that in some cases left Ellen scrambling for a retort. So break out your cringe-o-meters, because we're about to reveal the celebs who insulted DeGeneres on her own show.
But she said, I'll just buy this. So you put that back, and you weren't gonna take it, and you want it, so I have the hat for you. Bring.
Number 6, shame on you. Ellen DeGeneres named and shamed a light-fingered audience member when she caught them on camera stealing merch from a gift stand. Putting her audience to the test as she kicked off the newest season of her show, Ellen placed a merch table covered in goodies out in the waiting area and told everyone they could take one item. However, unknown to the audience, they were filmed the entire time. And while nearly everyone stuck to the one-item rule, one audience member got a little too greedy for their own good. Arriving at the table, the woman proceeded to pick up a mug, badges, and a t-shirt. When her friend noticed and said something to her, the woman responded, "Shh, no, shut up," before walking away. As the cameras circled in on the pair, now sitting embarrassed in the audience as the scenes unfolded, the rest of those watching were shocked as the woman circled back to the desk several times to bag more loot. She then encouraged her friend to do the same and insisted no one will see it. After watching the video, Ellen smugly scolded the woman for her dishonesty. In one particularly astonishing moment, the woman brought back a mug only to trade it in for a baseball cap. Ellen then began to jokingly scold the woman, who defended her actions by saying they were for her sisters who couldn't make it. Without realizing she was being filmed, the woman, Nancy, picked up a ton of stuff which included t-shirts, shot glasses, badges, mugs, and pencils. Despite being told she could only have one, but our smart-mouthed Ellen told her, "Oh yeah? A lot of people's sisters couldn't come." Ellen then remarked, "You're the kind of person that goes trick-or-treating and nobody's home. You just take the bowl." The woman needed to spend the rest of the show in a specially made jail and told the thief she needed to be a good person and sent her to Ellen jail, specially made for her in the corner of the studio. As another audience member who was interested in 2 items but never chose to steal like Nancy, Ellen gifted her a cap as a souvenir.
That's because you're hilarious, and I love you, and you're talented and smart, and all the, oh no.
Number 5, the Battle of the Gays. The insults slung at DeGeneres by Will and Grace star Sean Hayes were all in good spirit. And yet, it was tough not to have the saying, "there's truth in jest," in mind while watching the verbal arrows fly. In a conversation DeGeneres dubbed the Battle of the Gays, she and Hayes, for some reason, decided to one-up each other with pointed barbs about the other's career, teasing one another about their respective legacies as 2 of the most prominent LGBTQ stars on mainstream television. Rest assured, however, that it was all in good fun. It played out like this. Hayes first swiped at DeGeneres' inability to smoothly transition from question to question. DeGeneres counterpunched by mentioning the original cancellation of Will and Grace. Hayes joked that the success of his Emmy-winning series Will and Grace surpassed that of Ellen. DeGeneres' sitcom was canceled in 1998, shortly after her character came out as a lesbian. He returned fire with, "I think it was longer than your sitcom was on," to which DeGeneres went in for the kill with, "Yeah, that's right. I had to come out first for y'all to do that, sitcom. Target engaged, target destroyed." DeGeneres' sitcom was canceled in 1998, shortly after her character came out as lesbian. The 2 of them, of course, fell out laughing after the whole exchange, with Hayes conceding, "It's funny because it's true." Do you know what else is true? Don't come for DeGeneres on her home field, because she doesn't have a mercy rule. Of course, there's no true rivalry between the 2 stars. Hayes later presented DeGeneres with what he said was a Beefeater hat as a belated birthday gift. It's actually called a Busby hat. The host modeled her new headgear, though she had lingering doubts about her ability to drive home while wearing it. Could you imagine getting on Ellen's show and messing up twice? Things failed miserably for DeLaurentis, who was trying to redeem herself after an awkward encounter with the show host and Nicole Kidman.
Ellen's eating it again. Oh my God.
Number 4, wrong ball jokes. History was made on Ellen when Giada DeLaurentis and Nicole Kidman attempted to make some arancini and focaccia together. What came out instead was an uncomfortable exchange with DeLaurentis making fun of Kidman and host Ellen DeGeneres for their cooking skills, and the Big Little Lies actress serving up some warranted side-eye. In the now classic 2017 cooking segment that went viral for all the wrong reasons, celebrity chef Giada DeLaurentis decided to start the whole thing with a suggestive comment about rice balls, then quickly pivoted to insulting DeGeneres' apparent lack of culinary skills. That looks like dog food now. She told DeGeneres of her attempt at rolling an artichoke arancini. De Laurentiis also took aim at fellow guest Nicole Kidman, who participated in the segment when she marveled at the actress's ball-shaping aptitude. "The woman who can't cook made the perfect ball," De Laurentiis exclaimed. From there, everything slid steadily, hilariously, downhill. As De Laurentiis doubled down on the DeGeneres shade, "Ellen's balls are falling apart. It's just making a mess of my work." Until finally, DeGeneres and Kidman struck back. After taking a bite out of De Laurentiis' clementine and fennel focaccia bread, DeGeneres posed for the camera while struggling to chew it. "It's a little tough," Kidman chimed in, eventually spitting her own bite of the apparently stale bread into her hand. De Laurentiis returned to Ellen the next year to redeem herself, only to start the segment by making DeGeneres a drink and saying, "I figured if we got you drunk enough, you wouldn't know the difference." Geez, as it turns out, De Laurentiis and Ellen DeGeneres cooking segment is just as awkward without any weird tension between the cooking star and Kidman. After throwing pizza dough at each other's faces, De Laurentiis accidentally dumping in a whole cup of salt where a pinch was needed, De Laurentiis made a cutting dig at Kidman. "I wish Nicole were here," she said after making a heart-shaped pizza sandwich. She would like them. Of course, she was referencing Kidman's reaction to the clementine and fennel focaccia that came from De Laurentiis' cookbook.
It was my favorite was you're like, just electric, just electric, just electric. I was like, that's not the word.
That's no.
Number 3, Justin Timberlake is mad. Justin Timberlake is one of DeGeneres' favorite guests, so it made for an especially popcorn-worthy moment when he insulted her for not knowing the lyrics to one of his songs. In an episode of The Ellen DeGeneres Show, the host told Timberlake the lyrics to his song's climax were just electric. It all started when Timberlake revealed that his and his wife Jessica Biel's 18-month-old son Silas knows all the words to the hit. "You know how much I love that song," said DeGeneres. "I sent you a video of me singing that song." While telling the story about how DeGeneres sent him a tequila-inspired sing-along of his jam, Can't Stop the Feeling, Timberlake revealed that she repeatedly sang the line, "Just electric, just electric, just electric," imitating DeGeneres' lyric fail. I was like, "That's not the words. It says just electric. Those are the words," countered DeGeneres. Confident that he knew his own song, Timberlake went back and forth with DeGeneres. "It pretty clearly says just imagine," Timberlake said to correct the visibly embarrassed host. "Really?" said a shocked DeGeneres, who polled the audience to make sure she wasn't alone to validate the error. "Did y'all know that?" Timberlake replied, "I don't think anyone raised their hand." Of course, it was all in good fun, but DeGeneres' own house DJ twisted the knife by queuing up the song to the exact moment, making the situation even worse. To gain support, DeGeneres played the song and danced as Timberlake laughed. "Alright, well, I'm glad to see some other people thought it was just electric," she said. The lesson here? If booze is your karaoke partner, leave the recorded evidence in your phone gallery and do not press send.
Oh, he just won the Oscar and he was Titanic and he dates
Leonardo
supermodels.
DiCaprio.
Yes.
Yep.
Number 2, Wendy. Spoiler alert, Wendy tells Ellen she looks like her man when she's on her show. Wendy Williams has a natural professional rivalry with DeGeneres, since she's a talk show queen in her own right. First, in a 2013 interview, DeGeneres barely hid her feelings for the not-so-subtle shade Williams threw at Kim Kardashian and Kanye West, who at the time were expecting their first child. Moments later, Williams plugged her PETA ad by acknowledging DeGeneres' veganism before inexplicably asking, "How do you live without bacon?" DeGeneres replied, "Well, because I think pigs are very smart animals." Awkward. 3 years later, Williams came back and played Heads Up, the game where guests make DeGeneres guess the name of the celebrity only they can see on the screen. As a clue for Justin Bieber, Williams said, "Some people says that he looks like you." DeGeneres laughed it off and said, "I don't mind that, he's adorable." But really, come on, Wendy. Recently, Wendy took a bitter jab after losing the People's Choice Award more than 5 years in a row to Ellen. I mean, they both have great talk shows and evidently don't seem to like each other, which can be seen during their awkward encounters on television.
I saved the best for last, but first, I have a quick challenge that takes only 5 seconds to complete. If you can leave a like and subscribe within the next 5 seconds, you'll get 10 years of amazing luck. Just try it. It really works.
Everyone wants to feel free. Everyone wants to feel good in their own skin. And some people aren't even really sure of what that means.
Number 1, Caitlyn Jenner has opinions. Most of these moments aren't as serious, but there was a genuine tension when Caitlyn Jenner appeared on DeGeneres' show. The interview started out great, with DeGeneres heaping praise on Jenner for her work with transgender rights activism, but things got cringy when DeGeneres asked Jenner to explain her past opposition to same-sex marriage. Describing herself as a traditionalist, Jenner said that it was simply a matter of wanting to preserve the institution of marriage as between a man and woman, though Jenner did say that she'd since come around to the idea. DeGeneres sensed that perhaps that wasn't entirely true. "It's funny, because you're still kind of a little not on board with it," she said. Jenner insisted that she was, while DeGeneres gently described how same-sex couples seek the same equality as the transgender people for whom Jenner advocates. The awkwardness continued off the air when, during a promotion of the interview on Howard Stern, DeGeneres revealed that she still didn't fully understand Jenner's position on the subject. Jenner later slammed both her appearance on Ellen and DeGeneres' interview on Stern as having alienated her from members of the LGBTQ community. Interestingly enough, DeGeneres actually seemed most upset that Jenner didn't dance with her on the show, telling Stern, "Maybe she didn't want to dance with me because I'm a lesbian." This is pure evidence that Ellen always has something to clap back with. Don't you find it strange how Caitlyn Jenner wants people to understand and accept her, yet she doesn't want to extend the same to others? Since this list covers celebrities who insult Ellen, our next video will feature Ellen doing the insulting.